I didn't realise it was going to be portrait, but that's good. That'll do. I'll just let everyone arrive. I felt like such a... I don't know the word. I was feeling like it was taking such mugshots every time I tried to take a cover picture, thumbnail. So I put the hood on because this hair is just like really not working for me. So I put the hood on and was like, and then just looked, hello, welcome first person. I'm just being a turtle over here, don't mind me, I'm just turtling it out. What's up? Hello? Who is that there? Hi. I'm just finally getting around to this live stream that I've been meaning to do for ages now, because we have made it to 1,000 subscribers on this new channel. Yay! Woo! 1,000 subscribers! Amazing. Welcome everybody. Hi, Crazy James 82. What's up? I've been meaning to do a live stream. I was thinking of doing one called like, yeah, we made it back to Sweden, woo, and now we've been back for like over 2 weeks. And I also wanted to do one like, yay, made it to 1,000 subscribers, woo. And it's been on 1,000 for a little while too. But when we first came home to Sweden, we were living in Rob's grandparents' house, because this cabin that I'm in right now was not yet ready for us to move into. So I thought, I was telling myself like, okay, when we move into the new cabin, then I'll do it. And then we moved into the cabin a few days ago and I didn't do it. And I kept telling myself, like, I think the first night I put my phone on charge because I noticed it was nearly out of battery. And then I was laying there reading my book, started falling asleep, and was like, okay, tonight's not the night. And then like a similar thing happened the following night, and blah blah blah, and here we are. And yeah, I'm just gonna let some more people arrive, and maybe just let's do some deep breaths, everybody. Get ourselves in the groove. Get ourselves in the groove. Just move these things out of the way. Yes. Yep. Yes. Thank you, James. Thank you, Crazy James. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm just sitting in Rob's office, in Mr. Nature's office. He bought himself a new computer yesterday. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers, woo! Slowly building up the Sunshine family again. Slow and steady wins the race, they say. I was too fast the first time around, I guess. So as we wait for some more people to arrive, hopefully more people are coming, I thought we could just do a few deep breaths just to get settled in. Feels good to take deep breaths, especially if you're feeling a little bit stressed or any kind of unfavorable emotion, or even if you feel amazing and there's nothing wrong at all, it also feels really good to take deep breaths. So let's do a few together. The chair is spinning. Why is it spinning? Okay. So everybody, let's take a deep in breath now. And then just let it go. And another one like that. And then just let it go. Should we do one more? Breathing in together. And letting it go. I did such a deep breath. Apparently it woke up the Ari dog. We've got Dino here with us. He's laying on the floor there, and we've got Ari now also arriving on the scene, wondering what's up. She's just been sleeping, bless her. This this is something that I think is crazy that I just learned about. Mr. Nature isn't here right now. He's applying to do his driving license. Finally, bless him. He wasn't able to for many years for some Swedish government blah 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 reasons. So he is currently sitting in, he's nearly done now, but it's a 3-hour long video about like drugs and alcohol type safety precaution doodles. It's a 3-hour long video, and this isn't just for him. Like, this isn't just Mr. Nature, you did some bad thing, or this is everyone in Sweden has to do this. When I did my driving, when I got my license, all I had to do was do a theory test and a practical test, and if you pass both of those, here's your driver's license, off you go drive your car. In this country, everyone, every single person has to go and watch a 3-hour long video. 3-hour long video about like, don't do drugs. How do they even manage to do 3 hours worth of don't take drugs and drive your car? Like, well, obviously, like, you don't need to sit me through. It's like they think if we force them to sit through this 3-hour video and like into their brains, then they won't drive drunk or high. Oh, I mean, when he gets home, we can ask him more specifically what it was, like, what they filled up these 3 hours with, but that just blew my mind. I was really like, are you sure everybody has to do this? Like, all Swedish people, is it just you? And then after that, they also have like they drive a car around on like ice and stuff and like skid it around on purpose and stuff just to see how it feels and to like learn to gain control and stuff, which I think is fair enough, because being in Sweden and learning to drive a car maybe is a lot more dangerous than England and whatever other parts of Europe. Sweden being Sweden in such a cold country, and there will be moments where it will be snowy and icy and it will be dangerous to drive your car if you don't know how to control it on such slippery, slidey roads. But I never had to do this, like, and I drive around on Swedish roads, so I guess that's dangerous. Anyone who didn't get their driver's license in Sweden and drives on Swedish roads, watch out for that car. They probably don't know what they're doing. And I have slipped in the snow and the ice and stuff, but nothing super dangerous. So first he has to watch this 3-hour video that he's doing right now. Then he has to go do this slippy slidey test thingy. Then he does his theory test. Then he does his practical driving test. And then he can have his driver's license. It's like a long process, like way more effort than in England. So he left at like I think he had to be there for 5:15. Hello everybody, welcome. So yeah, Mr. Nature is watching his long ass video thing to get his driver's license, and he'll be home in like, I don't know, he left at 5:15. No, he had to be there at 5:15, so 6, 7, 8, like 8:15-ish, it should be done. But they said minimum 3 hours because they're gonna have like a break as well in between at some point to go use the toilet or whatever. So it might be a bit longer than 3 hours, so who knows when he'll be home. But it's almost done, his video. And in that time, I thought maybe I finally go live, since I'll just be chilling here with the dogs. And then I ended up getting stuck talking to my friend, and then I took the dogs for a walk in the woods, and blah, 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 this and that, and suddenly it's like, I don't know what time, but he'll be home soon. Hi, welcome, it's been a while. So I'm gonna wheel myself closer to y'all. He got himself a new computer yesterday. Look at this setup. That's my face. I mean, the monitor isn't new, but the keyboard is new, and this computer here is new. Woohoo! New computer. And his mic, that's not new. But yeah, he's been playing Hon, I believe it was called. He's literally been sitting and gaming for like, I don't know how many nights in a row, staying up super late, like climbing into bed at like 3 in the morning and stuff. And then like his grandpa, someone will call at 9 in the morning, like, come on, you need to wake up, you need to do this, and he's like, Uh, yeah, that's how I felt, Jack. I was always like, no, I'm way too spangled, schmoobled to have a driver's license. That sounds rather dangerous. Yeah. I honestly don't know anything about this gaming world. This is all Rob stuff, but he has been telling me he absolutely loved this game, Hon, and then they like stopped doing it or something. Like, I don't know, they decided it wasn't going to be a thing anymore. And now, like, when we came home and we met with a friend of his who also loves to game and watch anime and all this stuff, he said, like, oh, did you hear, by the way, that Hon is back? And then he's been playing Hon again. So, hey, gamer boy life, feeling like I'm 18 again. Had a boyfriend when I was 18 that was into League of Legends. So yeah, I feel like I'm reliving that. But it's cool. He loves it. He's good at it. It's something he's into, and like, yeah, I mean, do you. Like, I've just been doing my thing, you do your thing. It's good. Yeah, I watch anime night, but only since I met Rob. Like, I never watched anime before. And we were recently watching Naruto. Rob's favorite anime is One Piece. He absolutely loves One Piece. That's his absolute favorite. And we've watched a couple animes together. We're watching Naruto. We were watching Naruto in Spain, and we haven't. Like, we finished all of the first Naruto thing, and then there's like a Naruto blah 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 has another name that we started watching. I don't remember the name, but I really like it. I really like this style of anime that he's introduced me to that he likes, where it's super like empowering. Like, the whole sort of storyline of One Piece is like this little dude who's like, I'm gonna be the king of the pirates, and everyone's like, who the hell are you? Like, no, you're not. And then there's like thousands of episodes, and they're still making them to this day, and they're released every Sunday. And he is like eventually the king of the pirates, and it just starts off as this little tiny little dude that's just like, everyone's just laughing at him, like, who are you? And yeah, he just believes in himself, and that is like a beautiful sort of, like, instead of watching some pointless TV show that's just like mind-numbing entertainment there, watching anime, especially this type of anime, I don't remember the exact word for it, where it's like a hero, or like this random dude becoming a hero, and they're really like believing in themselves, and they want to go for their dreams, and they don't give up, and they get back up when they get knocked down, and it's all about like helping your friends and family, and like la 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 and all that stuff. I think he's seen that, to be honest. Like, I think that's one of the ones. Or no, actually, that rings a bell. We went to last weekend. We went to his friend's house, and his friend is like even more into anime than he is. And Rob actually got the friend into anime, and then like going in his house, he's got like Lego anime doodles and things about anime like on the walls, and like little figurines and all this like super like yay anime like vibe in the house, in the apartment. And he was showing us on his TV, like, oh, you've seen this one, right? And Rob was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And he was like, pardon me, have you seen this? Like, you need to see this one. And I think Solo Leveling was one of them. Sorry, my bad. Shonen. Shonen. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Of course, anime night's gonna come through with the word I'm looking for. So this type of anime that's shonen, it's called shonen animes, where it's about like character development and like superhero type doodles. And that's the kind of anime that Rob is into. So that's the kind of anime that he's shown me, because he's like, this is my favorite kind of animes. And yeah, I've gotten into it. Like, I wasn't super like, oh yeah, let's watch anime to begin with. But now, if he was like, If he was to say, oh, I'm not gonna game tonight, do you want to watch something? Would you like to watch some anime? I'd be like, yeah, go on then. Why not? There was one that I don't remember the name of now, but it like we haven't actually watched it, but it sounds super cool. And the idea is like there's an apocalypse, and after the apocalypse, the people in this world like have to figure everything out. So they're like figuring out like how do I make that's separate. What the hell? How do I make one of these? Like, how does one make a phone? Like, how does electricity work? Like, how do you make a light bulb? And like the whole series is like them like rebuilding the whole world almost from scratch. Like, imagine if there was an apocalypse and like all technology and everything just and then we had to like start from scratch. Like, do you know how to build a phone? Because I don't freaking know how to build a phone. I know how to use one. Amazing. Most of us know how to use it, but few of us know like what's involved in the creation of it. It's almost a kind of magic, like to put all of these little pieces together of like different crystals and different little metals and whatever else is involved. And then you have this super advanced piece of technology. Like, it would be really cool to know like that kind of science, to be that in depth with these things, to be able to like create magic little robot devices. They just bloop bloop bloop, and then you can call your mom, or you can, do so many things. It's so limitless and infinite. I don't remember what it was called now. But yeah, there's like so many animes. Like, if we're gonna talk anime, I barely know what I'm talking about, but I know that there is like, oh my god, so many animes. It's redonkulous. We watched Hunter, Hunter x Hunter, or something like that, a couple years back. I don't know if we finished it. We were also watching Death Note, which was a bit of a like weirder, creepier one, kind of, but it was also really good. And somehow it feels like we never finished. I don't think we ever finished watching either of those. And now we started Naruto and we got quite far through it and we didn't finish Naruto. And it is really interesting. Like, I do really enjoy it. And I never did get into One Piece, even though it's Rob's favorite. And if I was to watch One Piece, I'd probably have to start from the beginning. And he's to this day watching One Piece, and they're on episode 1205 or whatever, something 1000 something something. So that's like 1000 episodes that I have to catch up on, and they're releasing new ones every Sunday, which is like, it's still going, like it's still being made. It's crazy. People are arriving now. First person asking to show my amazing souls has officially arrived. The party has begun. Let's go. Get your champagne glasses out. No, I'm not recommending anybody drink alcohol. I have been alcohol free, obviously, for a while now, and Rob has also been alcohol free. Not like to support me, even though, bless him, it was super nice of him, but because he decided already before I found out I was pregnant that he was gonna quit alcohol for a year, super randomly. I was like, yeah, good luck with that. And then I found out I was pregnant and was like, oh, babe, thanks. And that's really feeling good. I'm also not having any caffeine. I'm not smoking. And even though it's like been a process to like drop off all these kind of habits that become just so like second nature, to just constantly like and to wake up and drink your coffee and then like occasionally have a beer and la 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 with your friends. It's really nice to be like, to not need anything and just be, because when you turn to like alcohol or whatever substance, then you end up having this dependency on, like, maybe we think we don't have a problem. Most of us, like your average Joe, doesn't really think that they have a problem unless you're an addict. And like maybe you're an addict and you know you're an addict, but then perhaps you're an addict and you don't even realize. But a lot of people are just functioning, you know, they're just doing their day-to-day thing, maybe with their coffee and their cigarette, whatever your vice is. And then if that person was to stop, for some it's fine, and for others it's actually like, whoa, like you realize it's a way bigger deal than you ever knew. Like alcohol or cigarettes or coffee or sugar, even, they just so like mainstream, just so normalized. It's like, oh, this is just life as normal, that's just what people do. But actually it's like really harsh substances for the body. Alcohol is just a poison, like it has no benefit whatsoever apart from perhaps if you're having confidence issues or whatever, so then you're not really like feeling talkative and like vibey and like sociable unless you have a drink. And then it can be beneficial in the sense that you feel it helps you gain confidence, to be more chatty, to be more blah 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 when you're out with your mates or whatever. And cigarettes, it's such a like social norm. If you work in a restaurant, for example, you get way more breaks when you smoke. I've been a waitress a bunch of times throughout my life, and if you smoke cigarettes, then you get to have a break like whenever you want. You're like, oh, can I go out for a ciggy? And they're like, oh yeah, go on then. And the person that doesn't smoke cigarettes doesn't just get to be like every hour or half hour like, and your boss is like, go on, be quick. It's crazy. We're all a bunch of addicts. And I realized at some point in the process of like getting off of all these addictions slowly, that the biggest addiction isn't even anything physical. The biggest addiction is the addiction to our thoughts, the addiction to our mind, the addiction to like the negativity and all the shit that you're like replaying from the past. We're like addicted to our past almost, and that's where these things stem from. We just kind of want to get free from this constant thinking, this mind that doesn't stop. So some will turn to a drink and others will turn to a fag, and you know, whatever it is, if it's not good for you, why are you doing it every single day? That's a question we don't really ask ourselves. Like many people just do these things and they don't ever like stop to like look at it and be like, why do I do this? Why do I feel the need to roll another cigarette? I just had one. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how I went from anime to addictions, but I spun off on a tangent. Dog streaming, he's literally twitching all over the place. Jack, that sounds crazy. A parasitic alien. An anime about a parasitic alien that fell to Earth, I guess it's supposed to say, and lives in some guy's forehead and turned him into a superhero. Yeah, anime can be an addiction. Anything in this world can be an addiction. Like, there's this song by Cheryl Cole that always comes to mind, like, too much of anything can make you sick. So even something healthy like exercise, if you get like obsessive about exercising, it becomes unhealthy. Like, everything in moderation, like, oh, sure, it's good to be able to like enjoy yourself and to like step outside of your comfort zone. Obviously I'm pregnant, so it doesn't apply, but to be able to have a drink occasionally, sure, fine. But if you're drinking every single day, or if you're smoking, like chain smoking, like my stepmom was literally chain smoking. She's quit smoking now, she hasn't smoked cigarettes in years, but I remember when I was smoking the holy herb, but she was smoking cigarettes, and I'd been out with my dad for a beer the night before, and I'd had a few cigarettes or something, and the next morning I woke up and felt like, oh no, like no. And she was like, do you want a fag? And I was like, no, I'm okay, I'll come with you though, and drink my tea while she has her coffee, like. And she sat there and drank her coffee and smoked her ciggy, and then literally it felt like as soon as that ciggy was done, she was rolling another one. And because I wasn't partaking just in that moment, I remember like watching her and thinking like, whoa, bro, like, dude, you need to chill. Like, it's been like, you just woke up, and I swear you've had like 4 ciggies in the time of like, I barely even like finished my cup of tea, and you're already on your second coffee and your 4th roll up. Like, chill out, love. And then she found this book that she thinks is amazing, and reading this book literally helped her quit cigarettes. So like, good on her. Like, good on anyone who decides to tackle their bad habits, because it's not easy. And like, the whole world is like, well, it's a crazy, crazy world. Like, we're full of like addiction and all this shit, and it's like, you're either like involved in it, you're like a part of it, so you don't really recognize it, or you manage to step outside of it and then you see it for what it is, and you see how fucking messed up and crazy the situation is, and then it's almost like hard to look at. Like, in a way you don't want to look away, but at the same time you just want to be like, nope. I'm gonna move to another planet now, like one where we're all kind to each other and we don't poison ourselves as a norm. Like, what's going on here? Also, I'm gonna bring you with me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I started smoking because I thought it was cool, and like my friends were doing it, and at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to partake in that. And then at some point I was like, oh, go on then, let me try one. And then it was probably like, oh, this is horrible. And then I just forced myself to just do it. Just do it. And suddenly I couldn't stop. And that's how it goes. That's how the story goes. 1 second you're like, no, thank you. And then the next you're like, give me a roll up, mate. Go on. Give us one. I was going to say, but I had to go fetch the book. Reading this book, I started reading it last year in the summer. When Rob left to work for 3 months, he asked me, while I'm gone, please can you read this book? Now this is a thick, chunky guy. This is a big boy. He's got 300 something pages. Let's say it finishes like testes, ovaries. That's like index type thingy. Let's say it finishes here, 331 pages, and it's big. It's giant. It's like a school science textbook, biochemistry. So when I started reading it last year and I said, yeah, I can read this in 3 months while you're away, like, I haven't got much else going on, I can read this book. I only managed like a third of it. I didn't finish the book. And recently I picked it up again and started reading it again, and I'm about halfway through it now. I'm on page 169. The number 69 keeps coming up for me recently. It's hilarious. And this book is like highlighting health on like so many levels. So it like ties into all of these things. Like, obviously alcohol isn't good for us, we all know that, and smoking cigarettes isn't good for us, we know that. Like, sugar, like sugary snacks and drinks and like white processed sugars, not good, everybody knows that. And the book is talking about all of these things, and like it's linked in with like diet and what we should be eating, but it's more than that. It's like, what are you thinking, what are you feeling, like what are you doing in life? Like, if you want to live a happy, healthy, long life, then you can't be doing all this fucking crazy shit that everybody else is doing. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that we should be doing it. And I don't know about you, but I do love life, and I want to. Oh my god, I pulled myself towards the table by holding onto the table, but the table wobbled and the monitor like wobbled. But everything's okay, nothing fell. Yeah, I love life and I want to live fucking as long as possible, and not like I'm 100 years old and I'm all frail and like, I want to be like healthy and vibrant and vital and like happy and thriving. And you don't get that when you're an addict. And so many of us are addicts. Like I see people writing in the Marco, for example, I'm sorry to use you as an example, but you love to tune into my lives and say things like, vodka's great, I love vodka, vodka loves me. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, you can be a happy drunk, you can enjoy yourself, you can be like a functioning alcoholic, like many people are, but that's killing you. And you know that. Everybody knows that alcohol is not good, but we just kind of excuse it and go like, oh, well, anyway. And it's like, all right, but that's your choice, you know. If you want to poison yourself, that's on you. But I don't want to poison myself, and I want to encourage people in my life to not poison themselves. And as we start to get older, like I'm 28 this year, I'm nearly 30. What the hell? Like, how did it get here? I still feel like 17 inside. I'm having a baby soon. And like, people like our parents or our grandparents, their bodies start to break down. If you put the wrong fuel in a car, eventually, like, it will make it so far down the street, but eventually it will stop. And it's the same with our bodies. They're really, really amazing that they manage, even on the wrong fuel, to run for such a long time. But if you've been like eating bullshit and smoking and drinking alcohol and having all these unhealthy habits, then when you get to 40 or 50 or 60, something's going to start to break down. Like, your car is going to start to break down. You're going to realize that you're having symptoms. You're going through like whatever situation where perhaps your thyroid starts acting up, or your adrenal glands are fucked, or like your back is going, or your knee is going, and you're having this problem and that pain, and you're going to the doctor and you're taking this medication and that, and you need surgery. And I don't want my mum or my dad or my grandma and grandpa to die earlier than they need to. If I can help, and the only way we can ever really help anybody is to lead by example. So that's the path I'm on, and it helps being pregnant, obviously, because it just encourages healthy habits, because, you know, you don't want to be an alcoholic while you're growing a little human inside of you. Everybody knows that pregnant women don't drink alcohol, or at least they shouldn't. Perhaps some do, and that's just their choice, of course, but I'm not drinking alcohol while I'm pregnant, and I would love to not continue to drink alcohol once I'm done being pregnant and done breastfeeding and all that, and can just do my thing again. I'd like to be able to have a drink occasionally, sometimes, to not be like a super strict, like, oh no, I don't partake in those things, no, I don't do that, oh, I'm allergic to fun. But I want to be able to have fun without needing to get fucked up, without needing to intoxicate myself. I want to be able to enjoy life without needing to get high all the time. I want to just be able to get high on my own supply, like Wim Hof says. Because truly, breathing, breath work gets you ridiculously high. Like, if you ever did the Wim Hof breathing method, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't tried it, then I recommend you try it. And those of you who have tried it and don't really think it's for you, then maybe you just weren't breathing deep enough. Because honestly, breathing is like the best drug. It sounds crazy because I've spent so long being like, oh, I love the herb and I love this and I love doing that and all these different substances. And I'm not saying I'm never going to use these substances again, but I want to be able to have like more control. And that's what I'm working towards in my life, I guess, right now. to have a bit more control over my choices and my lifestyle, to not just be ruled by my desires, ruled by my overthinking mind that's like, oh, do this, go there, consume that, blah blah blah, I think you need another one of these. Woo, 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 woo. I'm literally just going like blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna read what you guys are up to. Hello, 1 second. I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking the holy herb, personally, because it's nature. And I know that alcohol is technically nature too, because it's just fermented fruits, but alcohol is like, doesn't benefit us. There is no benefit to drinking alcohol. Alcohol, the only way it can be beneficial is when it's used to make like a tincture, like when you extract the essence out of some plant or some herb or whatever, they use alcohol. And then when you take that tincture, magic oil concoction, you usually do like a drop, or maybe not on your hand, maybe just directly in your mouth, but then you're having like literally a drop of alcohol. And in this book, the book says that the body actually uses alcohol, that it creates itself to open up the cells to be able to take in the nutrients from the food. So when you're eating like fruits and veggies and stuff, those like ferment inside of your body, which creates an alcoholic kind of reaction. But again, this is like on a tiny, minimal, little tiny scale. And that alcohol is beneficial, not like drinking alcohol, which is just poisoning your whole system, but like the body creating an alcohol naturally, that naturally occurs from the fermentation of the foods you're eating. That's why it's not good for us to eat like meats and all these heavy protein foods, many proteins, like many people think like, oh, proteins are so important, but no, because instead of fermenting, they, oh, now I've forgotten the word, they rot. There we go. You don't want food to rot inside of your body. You want it to ferment like fruit does. So basically, if you were to take any food, whether it's a fruit or a piece of meat or some pasta or some cheese or some bread or some potatoes, bacon, whatever, and you were to burn that food down to ashes, those ashes remaining can be tested for whether they're acidic or alkaline. We learned about the pH scale at school, most of us. The majority of us have heard of the pH scale, like 0 to 14 or whatever, 7-ish being neutral, one of them being really acidic and the other one being really alkaline. 2 acidic is bad, it's corrosive. Obviously, we all know acid is corrosive. And 2 alkaline is also not good because it's also like almost burning because it's so strong. But you want your body to be in an alkaline state. Like the blood's level, I don't remember exactly the value, but it's slightly above neutral. I think it's 0 to 7-ish that's acidic, and 7 to 14 is the alkaline, I think. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. But then the blood is a little bit alkaline. It's a little bit above neutral. So for us to live in a healthy, optimal state, we have to be alkaline. And alkalinity comes from fruits and veggies, like salads and fresh fruits, herbs, juices, like nuts, seeds, a few grains, like not white, plain, bloody rice. But the majority of us are consuming so many acidic foods, and then you add on top of that like the cigarettes and alcohol and all these substances that are super acidic, and that's where disease comes from. That's what this whole book is about. that like he doesn't even believe in the idea of disease. He says that everything is just the body detoxing itself. So when you get a cold, when you get a flu, when you got anything wrong with you, it's not an illness, it's your body detoxing out the toxins. It's your body trying to help you heal. So even if you think you're dying and there's nothing anyone can do for you, the doctors have told you you've got like a month left to live. If you contact Robert Morse, and he is alive to this day, he can probably turn that ship around and you can live many more years in great health. That's the crazy thing. He's had people go to him that are like supposedly completely done, like they're dying, that's it, it's game over. But he says there is no incurable diseases, there are only incurable people, which I think is so true. Because if you have a friend or a family member or somebody that's dying of cancer or has like, I don't know, MS or something super serious, and they think that's it, the doctors can't help them, like they don't really know where it comes from, they don't really know how to cure it, how to fix it, like this is it, you're gonna have this for life, you've only got this long left to live, you need to take this medication now forever. He's like, that's a load of bollocks. That is not the case. Like, we're supposed to live so much longer than we do. And if you were into the Bible and like religious texts and stuff, they do say that we used to live thousands of years. I don't particularly like subscribe to like, I know I got this cross around my neck, but that doesn't mean I'm like reading the Bible and hardcore like Christian Catholic religious person. But if you were to read those texts, many different religions talk about the fact that we used to live for thousands of years. And imagine that we potentially could. Like, I don't know, I'm not 1,000 years old. I'm not trying to claim that I am 1,000 years old and you should all be 1,000 years old, otherwise you're wasting your time. But imagine if we could live to be like 250 easily, or 1,000, or at least like 150 happily, healthily, instead of like starting to break down and get like frail and old and shit at like 60 or whatever. It's just a matter of like, what are we putting into us? Oh, what a sun rocks. That sounds cool. I've heard of moon rocks before, but I haven't heard of sun rocks. But yeah, I was just fucking going for it there. I didn't expect that this wow, I've been live for 42 minutes already. I didn't expect to just like start coming out with all this stuff, but I guess it's just what's been on my mind and what I've been thinking on and talking about and like doing in my day-to-day life. Like, it's time for healing. It's time for healing. It's time to be healthy and to live our best lives, because we want to be happy and healthy and thriving. And I know it's not for everyone. There are people, if they're super sick and they're like dying of cancer or whatever, and you tell them like, I have a solution for you if you want, oftentimes people don't want to believe it. It's like, imagine if you're dying and I come to you and I'm like, if you want, I can help you and you can live. Unless you want to die anyway, then okay, fine, that you're a lost cause, you want to die and you're dying, okay, then you're getting what you want, perfect. Let me just step out of the way and let you do your thing. But assuming you want to live, you want to stick around, you love your family, your friends, your pets, whatever, you have a reason to live and you want to be here and you want to join us on this journey on earth, and I come to you and I'm like, here's a solution if you want it. For some reason, people often don't want it. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, you're gonna just leave your family and friends and maybe loved ones, maybe children behind because you don't believe in what I'm saying? Like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm wrong and you die anyway? Well, you were anyway gonna fucking die. Like, why not give it a go? If somebody was to come to me and I didn't know about this stuff and I was dying of cancer or something, when people are desperate, like they get super desperate, and then they try something else that they think is extreme. And is it so extreme to just eat fruits and veggies, cut out all the toxic habits, and just like come back to sort of nature, like going and sitting outside in the sunshine, taking deep breaths, taking off your shoes and running around barefoot, eating fresh fruit? Like, if you look at our hands, our fingers, our teeth, we're obviously not designed to like run up on a tiger and just and eat that shit. Like, my dog maybe couldn't catch a tiger, but he could definitely like just go and kill an animal and like just straight up like catch it because he's fast, and grab it, and with his big teeth he could just like and he could eat it raw and his body could digest it. I can't do that. But I could pick a fruit off a tree. Imagine Dino trying to pick a fruit off a tree. Like, maybe he could catch something like off a bush or something kind of low down. He could pick some berries or whatever and eat that. Dogs are actually omnivores, which means that they can eat a variety. Like, they're not just carnivores. They can eat meat, but they can also eat fruits and veggies and like all kinds of things. We, according to this book, he kind of starts off with that. We are frugivores. We're like the monkeys. And if you look at a gorilla, you don't want to fight a gorilla. The hench. Where do they get their strength from? They're not eating steaks. They're not big and strong and powerful creatures because they're eating meat. They're eating fruit. And that fruit, which is like amino acids, turns into proteins in the body, and that's where they get the muscle and their strength from. So we don't actually need proteins. That's a myth. We need amino acids. Amino acids come from fresh fruits and vegetables. And then when you break it down, and like, thank you this book, because it just makes it simple, you know. At the moment I was just reading about, like, I'm about halfway through, I was reading about cancer. Then I was reading about diabetes, and I was reading about obesity, and then the other side of it, like people that are really underweight. And most of these things come from the same thing. It's acidiosis. It's being too acidic. And then the body starts to break down. People with diabetes probably have just eaten too much sugary shit. And like, fruits are sugar, yes. Don't get me wrong, fruits are sugar, but fruits are a natural, easy to digest sugar. They're not a complex sugar. And then you've got like candy bars and shit that are a complex form of sugar where the body has to work extra hard to break it down. Like, it's not just like, oh, here's this thing. Okay, thank you. It's like, oh, here's this thing. Oh, wait, that's a complex sugar. I need to break it down. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, now I've put in all this work to make it into a more simple sugar. Now I can digest it. But when you eat a fruit or a vegetable, fresh, raw, ripe, it's just like instant fuel. When you reading about, and this is common knowledge, this isn't like super crazy stuff. When you're reading about how long food takes to digest, fruits take like no time at all to digest. Vegetables a little longer. And then you start getting into the heavier things like meat and stuff. It takes a really long time for the body to digest. And then if you have like fat people, they are just like clogged up with shit. Their body hasn't had a chance to digest all of that stuff. And it's so crazy. And then we're also adding in cigarettes and alcohol and coffee and this and that. And we're putting all these chemicals all over our skin. And not only like are we taking it in through like consuming it into our face hole, we're also putting it all over ourselves, and then it absorbs through the skin into the system. It's just toxicity on every level. There's so much pollution going into us. They like spray all the food crops with all these pesticides and all these nasties and all this shit, and we're just getting sicker and sicker. We're like the sickest we've ever been as a society, as a people. People are just getting more and more sick. Babies are born with like autoimmune diseases and all this. It's literally just a result of bad habits. Everything is just bad habits accumulated and built up. And the reason... Do I like the BBC? No, I don't watch the TV. I don't fuck with that. The reason why some people will get cancer or whatever, and some people get diabetes, and somebody will get this wrong with them, and that person will get that wrong, and there's all these different variations of diseases. It comes from like genetic weakness. So if my mum or my dad has been drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes, or I've had that for many generations, that bad habit will affect a certain organ. So then I'm already born with a weakness of, let's say, my liver. My liver is weak because my father's liver was weak and his father before him, and blah, 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 blah. So then if I pick up a drinking habit, then I may get liver failure at whatever age, because that's where I'm genetically weak. Whereas somebody else may drink the same amount as me, but they're not going to get liver failure. They're going to develop lung cancer or whatever else disease, which is just the body trying to detox itself. So where I'm getting to is, I recommend this book, really good book, if you want to heal yourself / help your family or friends heal. It wasn't easy to begin with, honestly, because at the beginning, it's like going through everything. It's like explaining like everything on such a deep, sciencey level, where at times I'm like, is this book written in French? Like, how the cell works, how the body works, how the skeletal system works, and the muscular system, and hormones, and all these different big words and things, where I was like, oh my god. But once you get past that and it starts talking English again, it's very interesting to read about toxicity. Toxicity is no bueno, and we're living in a very toxic world, and it's possible to heal, it's possible to be healthy. It takes a little extra effort than just doing what everybody else is doing, because just doing what everybody else is doing is just going to lead to disease and eventually death. And yeah, sure, you could say everybody dies, but I would rather live as long as I possibly can, happily and healthily. Yeah. I want to be happy and healthy and live forever, or at least as long as I can. And I'm sure a lot of you agree and also want to live happy and healthy. So why not do that? I feel like this live has been like Mr. Nature, but the female version. What's up, people? Have you heard about this book? If you watch any of Rob's most recent lives, they're pretty similar to this one. But now you're getting it from me instead, so a different spin on it. What are we talking about the BBC about? BBC is TV shows, no? BBC is TV, and there's also a website. BBC, what does it stand for? Who knows what it stands for? Big Black. Is that what you're talking about? Or are we talking about BBC like on your telly? BBC One, BBC News, BBC blah? I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in years. I recommend you throw your TV out the window. Unless you just use your TV for like Netflix and watching movies and whatever. The kid will be born here in Sweden. Yeah, in Rob's mum's house. Hopefully in a pool, bathtub thingy in water. British Broadcasting Network. No, British Broadcasting Channel. British Broadcasting Channel. I do not fuck with the mainstream agenda of telling people lies and promoting poisonous things. I'm quite the opposite. I'm like, let's promote healthy stuff. Look at these delicious fruits. Look at it. This is what the humans should be eating. Yum, 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 yum. Delicious. No, absolutely no hospital. I don't know why. You know, here in Sweden, and in Germany, they call hospitals sick houses. Rob's grandma, when Rob wasn't home the other day, I don't know where he was. I think he was just sleeping still. She asked me, why don't I want to go, in Swedish, why don't I want to go give birth in the sick house? And I looked at her like, do you hear what you're saying? It's a sick house. I'm not sick. Why would I go there? She was like, yeah, but they do births as well. And it's like, yeah, but why? Why do we go to sick houses to give birth where it's like babies being born into a place full of sickness and people dying and all this stuff? Like, nah, these things should be separate. If you look at like mammals, we're mammals. Most mammals give birth with privacy, darkness, comfort, their loved ones around. That's completely the opposite in a hospital. It's like bright lights, like artificial lights, loads of strangers. It's not comfy, cozy, and it's not your loved ones around. It's super like, what's the word? Sterile environment of like, it doesn't give good vibes. Like, it's not a place you ever want to be. Who wants to be in a hospital? I don't want to be in a hospital unless there's a reason. Like, if I break my arm, if I need surgery or something, I'm not going to be like, God, fix it. Can you put this bone back in my arm? It came out. I am going to go to a hospital, to a surgeon, and be like, please put the bone back in. Like, it shouldn't be poking out like that. But if I got to give birth, even before we were pregnant, Rob was doing loads of research about what's natural. He loves to research what's natural because the world is so twisted and inside out these days that there are so many things we do like way wrong, thanks to things like the BBC and all these kind of like mainstream agendas of like programs and you should be doing this and you should be blah 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 blah. We shouldn't be giving birth in hospitals. We shouldn't be giving birth lying down. It's super unnatural. Think of giving birth kind of like pooping. If you really need to poop and then you go and lay down to go poop, how is that going to go for you? Instead, if you're like squatting, oh man, if you're like this is the best position to poop. According to the Asians, this is how they do it. And it's also the best position to give birth. It's like, and according to a lot of research we've done, birth shouldn't even be super painful and super scary and like the worst thing ever. And everybody's like, oh my God, terrifying. It's supposed to be orgasmic. Imagine that. What a plot twist. They've managed to program us with like birth is horrible and painful and terrifying and when actually there's women out there having orgasms as they give birth. And if you think about it, it's like the most natural thing ever. Every single one of us here was born probably out of a woman's vagina, unless you were a C-section. So it's like the most normal thing. Why it feels so alien? Why does it feel so alien that I'm growing a human inside of me? Like, what? And it's gonna come out of me? Like, what? Like, what? This seems so crazy. But actually, it's been happening for thousands of years, let's say. I don't know how long we've been around. I'm not gonna pretend like I was there when the first ever baby was plopped out. But if you imagine that instead of stressing about it, instead of being drugged up about it, instead of being full of fear about it, we were to relax, breathe. Instead of even pushing, like you're trying to get this huge poop out of your bum, you just relax. Yes, there's going to come some contractions and some painful sensations and some intense, like, whatever's gonna happen. I don't know, I've not been through it yet. If you just manage to relax the best that you can, your body is doing it anyway. The baby decides it's time. Your body decides it's time. If I start puking right now, do I really need to think about how to do it? Nope. It just happens. I don't have to think about how do I get this out of my body. It just comes out. When you go pee, it just happens. It's like a natural process. The body is doing things like you're breathing right now. The blood is pumping around your body right now. You do not need to like think about it. It's an involuntary thing. I think the same about giving birth. From the research we've done, from what we've read and like watched and just studied online with like thousands of people are doing this. There are so many women that don't even bother with a midwife or a doula or whatever. It's literally just her and her husband or boyfriend, maybe in a tub, maybe not, and they're just breathing and they're relaxing. Maybe he's giving her a massage. They're like lighting candles and like she's just when it gets like intense, and then that passes and then the baby starts coming, and you're, as far as I'm aware, your most important thing to do is relax. If you can relax, then it's going to go way more smoothly than if you're super stressed out. And from like any film or anything that we see nowadays on the TV or like in the movies and stuff, they portray birth as like this almost horror scene, like the woman's like crying, it's tearing her apart, they're injecting her with something so she doesn't have to feel so much pain, she's super terrified about the idea. Like, that is not the experience I want to have. That is the reason why kind of all that programming, why I never really wanted to have kids, why I always thought that having kids sounded like a terrible idea. Like, why would anyone want to do that? Why would anyone want to put themselves through that? Like, no thank you. And it's like, I wouldn't be here now if my mum was to be like, oh, no thank you, that doesn't sound pleasant. Oh yeah, I hope the baby's born with dreads. My dad made a joke that I'm gonna give birth to a Bob Marley, which I think is an honour, really, to say such a thing. Of course I'm not gonna live stream it. Exactly. Oh, wait, I need to let him in. The door's locked. It's just Daddy coming home. Yeah. Welcome.
Hello.
We're live.
What's up?
You're live, baby. How was your thing?
I'm back at it like a crack addict.
Don't do that. I had the door locked just in
A
case.
3 hours course about drugs, safety, and alcohol.
Was it fun?
For driving a car. It was completely worthless and really stupid, but it's done.
Someone just asked me if I'm going to give birth, where I'm going to give birth, and I said here, preferably at home, at like your mum's house, and they were like, oh, no, hospital, you're brave. So I've just been spinning off on a tangent of like, hospitals are not the place to give birth. But I've already been live for an hour.
Here's their food, but there's no place to put it.
Ooh, I'll fix that. Put it in the freezer for a second. Or... wait, we gotta rearrange the fridge, don't mind us. Oh, do you want to see the fridge? The fridge! Everything's getting moved around because dog food. Get you a big one of these, that costs like nearly £20.
I can't barely see anything at the bottom. Oh no, it was just a light. Never mind.
We got fruits, veggies.
Alfalfa sprouts.
Alfalfa sprouts. Coconuts.
Watermelon.
This guy, super expensive guy.
Alkaline water.
Salad, sea moss.
Dijon.
Dijon mustard, some tahini. Oh my god, I have chocolate. Oh my god, I forgot I had chocolate. We went shopping today.
Is it your finger that's in the camera? It's like this.
What you moaning about?
No, I just saw it. being a little bit shady in the hay.
I haven't shown you guys. This is the new place. It doesn't have a sofa yet. That's going to be in the room I was just sitting in. And it needs a mattress. That's like the spare room bed. So we have this cabin we're living in. It has 2 rooms.
It's basically like a little house. I grew up in this house when I was a teenager. Me and my mom lived here between I was like maybe 12 to 16, 17.
It did it again, the blur at the bottom that you noticed before, and then it went away again. Something with my camera. Are you guys happy Daddy's home? Are you guys happy? So this still needs to go up there, and there's like still chaos. But yeah, and we still haven't fully unpacked from all the things from Spain. But this is the kitchen area. This will be a sofa. This is the living room area. And then we have here the bathroom, which I flooded the other day, trying to have a shower. Haven't tried again since. A bit of a mess. Yeah, it's been fixed now. It didn't have these rubber things at the bottom, so it all flooded all over the place, and it's a bit of a chaos in here. So, but yeah, Rob and his grandpa put in this sink the other day. It's still kind of like work in progress. There's still things everywhere.
When did you walk the beasts out?
I walked them like an hour ago.
He's looking like he's a black man.
He's just excited. They've been sleeping. They pooped about an hour ago. They went out.
Okay, so you have pooped recently.
Yeah, they pooped recently. This is where we're sleeping. A big double bed. It fits everybody. And this is where I was just sitting, where the other bed's going to be. But for now, it's just Mr. Nature's.
Basically, I'm going to put the other bed
Ropes.
here, I think. Because this is the exact measurements for the other bed. And then there can be a bed here and the studio is here.
It's all our stuff, look.
And a
From
dog.
Spain. And this was where I was sitting a moment ago, where his new computer is. Now you're going to steal my spot. Well, I'm going to sit on you then. I'm going to sit on you. Meh. There's a big fat lady sitting on you. Did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you pass?
Yeah.
How does it
you
work?
Can't pass. You cannot not pass unless
You just have to sit through it.
Yeah, unless you come there like drunk while they're talking about not being drunk.
So I'm really curious, Mr. Nature. Please tell us what the fuck you just went through, because it's like I don't know any other country that does that to people.
Risk 1 is called. You do risk 1.
A risk assessment.
You have to learn about the risks about driving cars, and especially about drunk driving and driving on drugs, before you're even allowed to take a theory or a driver's test. You have to go to Risk 1, which is a 3-hour course on drugs, alcohol, and like tiredness in traffic and stuff that are any risk in traffic they will bring up. So basically everything about driving a car too, like that you're always at risk, even if you're driving good, or there's always someone taking a risk. When you get in a car, you're getting into a weapon, basically.
Whoa.
You're getting.
Is that what the Swedish people
No,
program
you're getting,
you with?
because you can kill people with it, and then it counts as a weapon. That's basically what they're telling you. And then the risk 2 is you get to
The slippy sliding one.
go drive on water and like icy road and brake and turn, and there's like a little voice thing and it tells you brake now, put the clutch on the pulling place, and that one you can fail or pass. But this one you just have to attend. But it was all.
At the start of the live stream, I mentioned that.
He's like, it's fun as hell to do risk 1. No, it's fun to do risk 2. Expensive, but it's a good thing to do. No, it's not. What do you mean good thing to do? You have to do it.
The second one, you mean,
Risk
maybe?
2 is the one that people say is fun, because then you get to drive a car and stuff. Like, but risk 1 is just absolute bullshit.
This is the same guy that said he nearly died on Friday. Bro, we're happy you didn't. Jack says, yo, Rob.
But I've been sitting at a thing for like 3.5 hours.
So why are you sitting here now?
I want to eat. I'm
Oh.
hungry.
Bless. The child will be Swedish. They're going to have a Swedish passport. which I think is better. Fuck having a UK passport. I don't even have a UK passport. That's like the worst passport to have right now with the state of things. It's okay, no worries, no worries. The first one was just him watching the risk assessment thing that he did just now for 3 hours, and then the second one, you actually get to drive a car around. That's what you thought was good, I guess. That's what you meant. That is fun to do, like the driving around on the slippery surfaces, and yeah, I'm sure it must be fun, and it's good to do it in the sense that like it's safety doodles, especially if you're living in Sweden. Guys, I'm really not vibing with this hair. I can't wait for it to grow. I had a dream the other day that I had like a fringe to hair, like poof, and it was like long, and I could tie it up in a ponytail. And even in my dream, I was like, whoa, it's so long all of a sudden. Obviously, that was just a dream. I'm still not used to it. I'm still not used to seeing my reflection like this. And I will definitely let it dread up again. I don't know how long it will take, but hopefully not long. Please, just as soon as possible, can my hair please grow quickly? Please, please. I pray to the gods of hair that it grows quickly. I did have this feeling of like, kind of like I just want to shave it off and just be completely bald, because I will never do something this crazy ever again, I feel like. So it's now or never, you know? If I want to experience what it feels like to have a completely shaved head, this is the moment. But then it's like, it would take a while to go from bald to this length, even, whatever the hell this length is. And then I also considered, because Rob's mum's like been a hairdresser and stuff, asking her to like make it all even, because it's like in some places it's longer and in other places it's shorter, because I just took some scissors and cut all my dreadlocks off on a mad one. But if she was to make it all the same length, then she would have to find like the shortest place and make it all match that, and I don't want it any shorter. But part of me just wants to put on a wig and be like, yeah. But I think it's good, because I have to learn to love the inner me instead of just being in love with how I looked with the dreadlocks. Even though I really did love how it looked with the dreadlocks, I think the second set of dreads is going to be even better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? You did it in 2007. Yeah, you know, maybe you're not going to remember the boring 3-hour-long sitting there thing. I cut it off because I was going pretty crazy. Like, I didn't cut it off for like, yeah, this will be fun. I cut it off because I was just going mental. This chocolate is really delicious, guys. It's like a super fucking expensive, super healthy chocolate that's made with like coconut sugar, cacao butter, vanilla. Hang on a second. It's supposed to be hazelnut cream, and it doesn't even say anything about hazelnut. Oh yeah, there it does. Okay. Oh, I missed that. All right. Yeah, it's just good ingredients. Organic and ecological and all that, and I really love chocolate, and Rob doesn't even like chocolate. What? And I haven't had any chocolate for a little while. So I paid 70 something krones for this bar of chocolate. That's like £6 or something for this little bar of chocolate. Prices in Sweden are ridiculous, guys. Don't come to Sweden, it's so expensive. Hello! Sweden is good. Expensive, but good. It's beautiful. It's good to be back in Sweden. It's not too cold. Today I was out there with nothing on, sunbathing, enjoying myself. It was like 15 degrees, blue skies, super nice. I made a weather report a new weather woman update yesterday just to test the waters, and it didn't even last 24 hours. It had like nearly 500 views, so some of you did get to see it, but it's been permanently removed from my channel. So I made a new one today where I put on a bikini specifically to be able to make this video. So if you haven't seen that yet, go and check out my weather woman forced to wear a bikini weather report that I shared earlier today. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. But the weatherman says that it's going to get colder again in the next days. And it's going to be raining and the temperature is dropping. But maybe that's good because then I won't want to spend so much time outside. And I can get some shit done, like finish unpacking all of this stuff into our house. And paint something. I haven't painted in forever. Yeah, I have a lot to do. I have like 100 million, no, I have like 500 videos or something to upload to Rumble from the previous YouTube channel, and oh my gosh, yeah, the pile of things to do that I haven't done is quite, it's rather large. It's big. It's a big pile of to-dos. So I'm gonna get to doing when the weather is shitty. What's an MC driving license?
Motorcycle.
Nah. Somebody tells you to do it because it's easy.
What?
Tell Rob to also do MC driving license. It's easy when you study it. I'm thinking of taking it now. They're not even doing it, but they're telling you to do it. One step at a time, love. One step at a time. Hi, dude. When's your due date, Jew? Little Ari face. Hello, Ari. Hello there.
Anyway, if I have a motorcycle, I'm not gonna have a huge engine one that you need big licenses for. I would have like a let MC, which is like a super easy license to take. And I'm not gonna live in Sweden. I'm gonna have my driver license, and then I'm good, and I'll do whatever the fuck I want in another country. Right?
Woo! It's gonna be good when you have your driver's license. Then the car won't get bumped into things all the time. I'm an amazing driver. What? I didn't ever hit the car on anything, ever. Oh, beautiful people. It has been fun to chat to y'all. There's a few people arriving now as I'm thinking of wrapping this up and getting going. This is not the house that we built. No, we're renting out the house that we built. And we're living in a slightly bigger house that has 2 rooms. A house on the farm a bit more near Rob's grandma and grandpa's, where Rob and his mum used to live when he was younger. Yep. Oh, this chocolate is so good. But I can't believe how expensive it was. I can't believe how expensive life is in this country. Okay. Is it tasty? I looked at the receipt when we got home from the shopping because I was curious how much the watermelon weighed and how much it cost. Fuck me, that watermelon was nearly 20 quid. It's not even very big. Last time we got a watermelon, it was like 10 kilos, which is big. And that cost like £20. This watermelon weighed 5 kilos, and it also cost like 20 quid. Basically, life is way cheaper in Spain and more sunny. So
the other watermelon we got in Ica when there was on sale. This one was no sale.
we need more lights in this house. Tasty, the bread, huh?
Yeah.
I made lemon water earlier. Here's some lemon water I made earlier. What country would you most like to live in? Thailand. Yep, Thailand. Out of all the places I've been to, what country would you most like to live in?
I don't really care. Just give me a place where weed is legal and a place where it's sunny and I don't give a fuck.
Thailand then.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but if you were to have a preference.
Yeah, but you can't own land in Thailand.
Okay, we haven't found the place yet. Me too, Thailand is the love.
I love Thailand, it's amazing, but you have to be practical too, and we want to own land.
That little monster just laid down on my feet.
It's not the easiest to own land as a foreigner in Thailand. Right?
Not Thailand, man, but it would be nice to live in Thailand, but somewhere like Thailand, but where you're allowed to own land.
Basically, I think personally, practically and everything, not just like which country is the nicest, but the Mediterranean is like the richest part of not too hot climates, enough to have abundance of fruits and vegetables all year round, super rich mineral soil, super rich minerals in the ocean from the salt, and just like the highest life, like blue zone or whatever they call it, like Mediterranean place is like, I would say it's like the middle point between tropic climate and
Whatever
this.
this is. You just need a Thai wife, then you can own land. Thai wife, Thai life.
Yeah, but Thailand is amazing. I want to have land there in the future. Find some cool Thai friend you share it with or something. But realistically, it looks like it's gonna be like Italy or Spain.
I love how we say Italy a lot, but we've never been there. We've
No,
just
but-
decided it's
but
good.
I don't care about that. I care about the minerals and the soil and the water and Italy and the coast of Spain, like the Mediterranean coast, is all like the richest part of Europe. Like that's where the kings live. That's where the old kings used to live.
That's what the man has to say about that. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up, people. And for all the people that want to see my feet, you better go over to my OF, bitch. Nah, I just can't be asked. You're not getting any feet today. Deal with it. Come at me. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ari got all excited when I did that. She started wagging her tail. What you excited about? Is Daddy home? And you've been sleeping? Aw. Aw. And this man's laying on my feet. Aw.
I'm hungry and the wife didn't cook any food.
I'm sorry, the wife was not cooking any food. She was just sitting on live on YouTube. But it's okay because we got snacks. We got snacks for days. I can cook some food if you want. We got loads of different things. What do you want?
Basically anything. I just feel so exhausted listening to this stupid.
Okay, so I'ma go, people. I'ma cook some food for the man. I'ma leave y'all to it. This guy says he used to live in Bulgaria. Super nice weather and nature and super cheap, but never really felt like home. Quite poor and different culture and way too complicated bureaucracy. We don't give a shit about any of that. If it's a poor country, it means the food is cheap and the culture being different just sounds fascinating. And complicated bureaucracy.
Welcome.
What does that even mean? Welcome to life on Earth. Every government fucking sucks. Bruh. Okay, we love you all so much. Ari loves you too, she says. It was nice to hang. I hope you guys take care of yourselves. Take care of your health. Quit your addictions. Decide to eat more fruits. And yeah. Bye. Take care. See you next time. Maybe I'll go live more often now that I've got internet on my phone. And we're finally settling into our new place. What are you
I'm
doing?
fucking getting an itch inside my leg.
Just stripping off behind me.
This 3.5 hour sitting and listening to the most stupid thing ever is all good and stuff, but I felt like I was back at school.
Which is your favorite place?
It was my
on
least
Earth?
favorite thing in the whole world. I'm not like saying like I was suffering like oh poor me. I'm just saying it was probably one of the least favorite things I've ever done in life. I'm not talking about like super bad accidents or people
Mr.
dying.
Nature's stamp of approval. Yep, that was great. Not. That was sarcasm. Oh, I love you, beautiful
The
people.
government totally sucks, you motherfuckers. The government totally sucks.
This guy says we should check Bulgaria out because it's probably the cheapest country in Europe. Thank you for this recommendation.
Does it have a coast? I'm not good at geography, so.
Look at the geography. We'll check it out. We'll check it out. Okay. Thank you for the recommendation. Peace out.
Shalom.
Shalom Shabbat. Wait, let's just flip the camera. How do I get out of here? Bye.